Okay, so within art and design, there's a whole study of lettering. And I know some of you have been really interested in lettering for graffiti lettering or for cursive lettering. So this study is called typography. And I'm not going to go into all details of it because it's like a whole thing. And there are a lot of people really geeking out in this. But you've certainly seen some different fonts on Google and Word, and that's basically what these people do. They design different fonts, and some of them are like really boring and business-like, and other ones are like really cool and artsy. Um, so you probably know the term font because that's what typically your computer uses, but there's another word called typeface that you might have heard, and people use them interchangeably, but that's not actually correct. A typeface is basically the name of a family of different fonts. So for instance, this one here that you see here is called Roboto. But within Roboto, there's a thin one, a light one, a regular one, a medium one, a bold one, a black one, and there probably is an italics one as well. That's the one that's kind of slanted. So, so that's really what the difference is between those things. And then lettering itself just means like any type of writing, type, print, whatever you've done, basically anything that involves letters and words. So I just want to get you guys excited and inspired for some of your own artwork, because you can use lettering in your artwork, or you can make a whole artwork out of lettering. So for instance, here's the first one I want to show you guys. This is what they call kind of, there's different names for this: tattoo lettering, Chicano lettering. And this one particularly is done by a very famous tattoo artist. His name is Mr. Cartoon. He does a lot more than tattooing alone. His actual name is Mark Machado, and he lives in LA. So this is a really cool type of lettering, and you can look up how to do this on YouTube. There are a lot of step-by-step instructions. Just look up Chicano lettering. All right, next one. This one is really, 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 really old. This is from the Middle Ages. This is from medieval times when monks actually, couldn't print books yet. So monks had to actually write books. And the only book they would write was the Bible. So they would write the whole Bible in this kind of style. And if you really, really look carefully at this, you see, especially in that capital letter, how much goes in there. There's an actual little painting inside the letter P there. So imagine how long that would take them to make to write out a whole Bible like this. So this is really cool stuff. This is called calligraphy. And if you looked at the last one from Mr. Cartoon, you can see that some of the strokes are wider. Those are typically the downstrokes. When you write something, your hand goes down. Those are the wider ones. With calligraphy, it kind of works the same way, that the downstrokes are the thicker ones and the upstrokes are the thinner ones. Let's look at some other ones. Oh, here, this is really cool. So in Islamic art, you're not allowed to actually depict the people who they talk about in their holy book called the Quran. So instead, what people do is write passages and stuff out of the Quran in Arabic. And again, they use kind of like a calligraphy type of thing. Some lines are thicker and thinner. It's very, very cool. This is an Arabic script, and a lot of times it goes together with all sorts of symmetrical shapes, just like you see over here. So definitely that is a really cool thing to try out. Here's another thing. This is from Asia, obviously. This is called kanji. It's actually, kanji is Japanese writing. Obviously, you could do Chinese writing in the same kind of way, and it's kind of like has its same origins. Typically, it's done with a brush, like what you see here, and there's a whole technique to that. Again, something you can look up on YouTube as well. But yeah, try it out. Kanji is really cool, and there's a lot of cool things. You could look up like a message in kanji, or some kind of like cool saying, and or maybe even your name, and just try to paint that with a brush like that. You'll need a round brush to do this if you look at it. Then I mean, if you think you don't always have to do your writing on paper, right? Your letters don't have to be on paper. You could build letters as well. You could even build a whole word like this one. So the artist here is Robert Indiana, and he built this statue, the love statue, and it's actually on a place called Love Park in Philadelphia, and people can actually get married here. But as you can see, you could also build a sculpture out of love. So if drawing or writing is not your thing, then try this out, right? Next thing is these are just a couple of examples of like collages. These are not from any famous artists or anything, but I just wanted to show you, you can make a collage out of, you can make a word out of pictures that you maybe cut out of a magazine, or maybe they're pictures of friends of yours or family, who knows, right? Or you could cut out letters or words out of a magazine and stick those on and put some cool message out here like this: you are beautiful. This is really cool. Obviously it can look a little bit like a ransom letter depending on how you do it, so make it look cute. And then the last one, and this is the one that most of you are most interested in, that is graffiti lettering. And honestly, there is no one graffiti lettering. And as you know, there are so many different ways, but people who do graffiti lettering like this have a really good knowledge of typography. They understand how letters are formed, and a lot of times they start with a very basic letter and then they start morphing them into whatever they want to do. Now, let's get something really clear. Graffiti is illegal if you don't have permission of somebody to put the graffiti on their wall or wherever. So don't do that. It can land you in jail or give you a huge fine. So don't do that. Also, famous graffiti artists who are really good at this, they get paid for it. They don't risk that. They don't risk getting a fine or going to jail. People ask them, can you put something really cool on my wall, and we'll pay you good money for it. So don't ever make artwork if you're not going to get paid for it and get yourself into trouble. Okay, but it is really cool. The designs are so cool, and actually graffiti artists work really hard on their designs. They actually carry around a little sketchbook, but they call it a black book, and they carry it around. And if you see graffiti artists, they will take every spare moment and sketch out different things, and they put little notes in there. Hey, wait, that sounds really similar to our art journal. Yeah, that's why we're doing that. Okay, so you want to do graffiti, do that. There are, again, so many step-by-step tutorials on different styles of graffiti writing on YouTube that I would just search for that. And obviously you can always ask me for help too. All right, so the last thing I have for you at the end of this is I'm going to have you answer these 3 questions in your art journal right now. What is the difference between the typeface and the font? And that was right at the beginning of this. Which type of lettering did you like the best? That's up to you. And what lettering artwork would you like to make? Once you know that, then you can start making some sketches of that lettering artwork in your art journal as well. And if you need some inspiration or examples or ideas, then please use your Chromebook. All right, good luck.